Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affair of 12th of December 2020. You can see here two best images of the day, but today we will discuss 9 to 10 very important and the most important current affairs of the day. But before proceeding, I want to discuss about Affairs Cloud subscription, that you can buy our Affairs Cloud subscription with two methods. First, you can visit our website, that is affairscloud.com/current affairs, or you can directly go to the description box of this video. Under the description box, there is a link of subscription. You can directly click on that link and you can visit the subscription page. Now, what you will get in the subscription? You will get the daily wise PDF. In the daily wise PDF, you will get two PDF. One is the theoretical current affairs of the day. Second is the question and answer format current affairs of the day. Next PDF is related to the weekly PDF. It is very important because all the current affairs, very important current affairs, arranged according to the weeks. Next is the weekly test. It is very important for those students who want to evaluate themselves so that they can check that how many current affairs they can retain for long time period. Next is the monthly PDF section, and it is the most important section because we are providing the 5 PDFs. First PDF is related to the theoretical current affairs of the month. Second PDF is related to the question and answer PDF because all the theoretical current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer. Next is the pocket PDF. As the name suggests, it is very important to revise the current affair before your exam. Next is banking, finance and the economy PDF for those students who are preparing for the banking exams. Very important for those students. Next, current affairs, question and answer PDF top 100. It means top 100 current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer so that you can revise and retain the current affair for long time period. And these are the best 100 current affairs of the month. And guys, this subscription comes at very, very low cost. If you visit the site or if you go through the link given in the description box, then you will definitely surprised to see the price, because on that minimal price we are providing you 10% extra discount. If you use this code ASH10, then you will get the 10% extra discount on that minimal price. So let's start today's current affair of 12th of December, and here is our first question under the first section. What is the name of the first section? It is the most important questions. And here is our first question. Which UT becomes India's first 100% organic union territory in the country? And answer is very simple. Answer is Lakshadweep. If the examiner is asking about the state, then answer is Sikkim. Remember, if the examiner is asking about the state, first state, even it is the first state in the world, and answer is Sikkim. If the examiner is asking about the first UT, then answer should be Lakshadweep. Remember, this is very important. And guys, you can see here, after Sikkim, Lakshadweep is the first union territory to become 100% organic union territory. 100% organic union territory. You can also see here, Lakshadweep becomes India's first 100% organic union territory in the country and second in the country only after Sikkim. If you are talking about all UTs and the states, then Lakshadweep is second. But if you are talking about only states, then Sikkim is the first, and if you are talking about only UTs, then Lakshadweep is first. Synthetic chemical usage has stopped completely since 2005. It means there has been no shipment of chemicals and fertilizers to the island group for the last 15 years. Because we are in 2020 and we was talking about 2005. It means there has been no shipment of chemicals and fertilizers to the island group for the last 15 years. Majority of the UT has already got certified under the National Program for Organic Production since 2011. It means from the last 9 years, they are basically using organic methods of farming. Entire 32 square kilometer of the Lakshadweep Island is categorized under organic area. It means no land is remained without organic land. It means all the 32 square kilometer, that is the total Lakshadweep area, is categorized under organic area. And remember, this comes under which scheme of the center government? It comes under the Parampragat Krishi Vikas Yojana. It means Parampragat Krishi Vikas Yojana, so that farmers can use the traditional methods without use of the fertilizers. It is just to support and promote organic farming, in turn resulting in the improvement of soil health. Why this scheme is launched by the center government in 2015? Because they want to improve the soil health to use the less amount of the fertilizer or use the traditional methods of the farming. So it is the most important question. Remember, I am repeating again, Lakshadweep is the first UT, and if they are talking about the state, then it is Sikkim. Remember this. very important, or even you can mark under the most important because we are doing the most important category. And one more important thing, Lakshadweep is a combination of 36 islands, and Lakshadweep, very important, Lakshadweep capital is Kavaratti, administrator is Praful Patel, Praful, Praful Patel. Remember this, very important. Moving to our next question. Who won Rabindranath Tagore Literary Prize 2020 for his literary fictional novel The City and the Sea? The City and the Sea. And two things are important under this question. One is the name of the literary prize, that is Rabindranath Tagore. And second, the name of the novel, The City and the Sea. Name of the novel is The City and the Sea. And third important thing, the name of the author by default, because he won this prize, and name of the author is Raj Kamal Jha. Remember, Raj Kamal Jha. You can see in the picture that this is Raj Kamal Jha, and he is currently very famous Indian author and currently working as the chief editor of Indian Express. And he won third Rabindranath Tagore Literary Prize 2020 for his novel The City and the Sea. You can remember the name of the novel by the city of Mumbai, because Mumbai is very famous city, and on the west side of the Mumbai there is a Arabian Sea. So you can remember the novel The City and the Sea, but there is no link between the Mumbai and the novel, but you can remember by this, The City and the Sea. Now you can see this novel is basically about the Nirbhaya rape and the murder case. So very famous Nirbhaya rape and the murder case of 2012. So this is basically on that theme. Now there are two persons more in the option. You can see here Sandeep Soparkar, and second is Sultan Qaboos bin Sayyid. Who are that persons? Now first I am talking about Sandeep Soparkar. Sandeep Soparkar is basically a dancer, and he is very famous because of his contribution to the betterment of society through his initiative Dance for a Cause, so that he can collect the money and can spend for the society. Next, Sultan Qaboos bin Sayyid, again very famous name. He was late Sultan of Oman, and he awarded for his you can say for his peacemaking efforts. So these two persons won this award under the social achievement category. It means these two persons won this award named as Tagore Prize for Social Achievement 2020. Tagore Prize for Social Achievement 2020. You can remember, but the most important thing here is the Rabindranath Tagore Literary Prize. It means under this category there are two prizes. One is the Rabindranath Tagore Literary Prize. Second is Tagore Prize for Social Achievement. These two persons won the Tagore Prize for Social Achievement, and Rabindranath Tagore Literary Prize is by Raj Kamal Jha. Remember the name Raj Kamal Jha. And name of the novel is very important. You can see Sultan Qaboos bin Sayyid named as the winner of the prize for his peacemaking efforts, and Sandeep Soparkar named as the winner for his initiative Dance for a Cause. Now, in November 2020, recently, a Malayalam novel named as Misha, and the name of the novel in English is Mustache. I am writing the name Moustache. Mustache. That is the English name of novel, Malayalam novel Misha. It was written by S. Harish and translated by Jayashri. This novel won JCB Prize for Literature 2020. Remember, JCB Prize for Literature won by the novel Misha, and it is the first Malayalam novel who won this prize. That is the amount of 25 lakh rupees won. So remember, JCB Prize won by the novel Misha, and Rabindranath Tagore Literary Prize won by The City and the Sea. Remember. Move to next question, guys. Who is appointed IGF Climate Ambassador? Two or three things are important under this question. One is this organization, IGF. This is International Judo Federation. Judo is not so much important game in India, but at the international level, it is very important. International Judo Federation. And second, these persons are appointed as the Climate Ambassador. It means to improve the climate or to enhance the knowledge of climate to the people, they are using these brand ambassador. And the two persons are, one is Sabrina Filz-Moser, second is Flavio Canto. Remember the name of the two persons, they are judo players, or the you can say playing judo. Sabrina Filz-Moser, she belongs to Austria. But country is not important. Second is the Flavio Canto, he belongs to Brazil. Remember. So answer should be both A and B. It means answer should be D. IGF stands for International Judo Federation. Where is the headquarters of International Judo Federation? Budapest, Hungary. Budapest is the capital of Hungary. You can see here the image of two persons. One is the Fils Moser and second is Konto. I already covered. Fils Moser belongs to Austria. She belongs to Austria, and belongs to Brazil, and they become the climate ambassador. So this is most important, because any brand ambassador, especially related to the game or international game, then it is very important. So it simply means both the players will help International Judo Federation to help to spread the message to save the planet, simply. So remember this thing. Now moving to next question, and it is from picture, and it is the most important day, International UNICEF Day. International UNICEF Day 2020 on 11th of December. It means on 11th of December 1946, this organization, that is United Nations Children Fund, was established. 11th December 1946, this UNICEF, or the United Nations Children Fund, established. And guys, in 2020, we are celebrating the 74th anniversary of UNICEF. 74th, because it was established in 1946. Initially, UNICEF was known as United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, and this organization was made to fulfill the emergency needs for the children in the post-war Europe and the China. Because this organization was made after the World War II, because it was ended in 1945, and this organization was established in 1946. But now this organization is working at global level. So, but when it was established in 1946, it was for the post-war needs, emergency needs of the children in Europe and the China. So remember, this is organization UNICEF. And two things are important under the UNICEF. Headquarter of UNICEF, New York, United States of America. Who is executive director? Executive director is Henrietta Fore. Henrietta Fore, F-O-R-E. Remember this. Now moving to next question. And here is our next section. It is the most important section which we covered. Now we are moving to the very important questions. Here is our first question. Which state government signed first of its kind initiative or the memorandum of understanding with Cornell University of United States of America to set up a world-class incubation center? To set up a world-class incubation center. Why they are setting up the incubation center? To train the entrepreneurs, to train the businessmen, so that they can enhance their skills in the business category. And this state government set up this memorandum of understanding with the help of Cornell University of United States of America, and this state government is Maharashtra. Remember the name of the state government, Maharashtra. You can see here, it is the first of its kind of initiative that is basically signed by Cornell University and government of Maharashtra, and they are setting up the world-class incubation center to train the entrepreneurs of the Maharashtra only, for the Maharashtra only. You can see here, Maharashtra becomes the first state in India. Maharashtra become the first state in India to set up an incubation center through an MOU with an international university. It means no other state till date signed any agreement with any international university of this kind, but Maharashtra become the first state. And this is also the first time that Cornell University to set up an incubation center outside the US. It means already they are signing so many agreements, but it is within USA, not outside the USA. Both will launch one program known as Cornell Maha 60. It means Cornell University, Maha means Maharashtra, an accelerator program for entrepreneurs. It is first of its kind program in India to train the entrepreneurs already who are entrepreneurs, but they are training the entrepreneurs so that they can enhance their business skills. To bridge the gap between entrepreneurs' current entrepreneurial capabilities, it means just to enhance their skills, and the demands of contemporary startup ecosystem. It means the new kind of the technology, new kind of digital assessment, they can train these type of these things to the entrepreneurs. So it is just to build the next generation of entrepreneurs in the Maharashtra so that they can use the best to best technology and they can train these entrepreneurs to the best to best technology. This is the main initiative of this MOU or Memorandum of Understanding. So two things are important. One is the name of the university. If you belongs to Maharashtra, then name of the university is very much important. Second, the name of the state, that is Maharashtra government. And two things more important, that are the national parks of the Maharashtra. One is Sanjay Gandhi National Park, that is very important. Second national park is Tadoba National Park. Remember Tadoba National Park, again very important guys, very important. One river is starting from Maharashtra, that is Krishna River. Krishna River starting from the Mahabaleshwar, and second important river is Godavari. Godavari starting from the Nasik, from the Trimbakeshwar plateau. It means two rivers, two big rivers starting from Maharashtra. One is Godavari from the Trimbakeshwar plateau, and one is Krishna from the Mahabaleshwar plateau. Remember, this is very important question, and Godavari is the longest river of South India and second longest river of India. Remember this. Now moving to our next question. Which state launched the Jeev Kranti scheme for distribution of sheep and goats for improving the living standard of women? It means this state government want to improve the income enhancement of the woman, or you can in simple words say that they want to empower the woman so that maximum to maximum employment can be generated in the woman category. And guys, this program name is the Jeev Kranti, and under this scheme the state government will provide sheep and goats so that the livelihood of the woman can be improved. And the state government is Andhra Pradesh. You can see in the image, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy launched Jaganna Jeev Kranti. But the examiner will cut this word Jaganna. Otherwise, you will understand that we are talking about which state. Jaganna, by the Jaganna, you can remember it is Andhra Pradesh. But the examiner will ask the Jeev Kranti. And this scheme is started by the Andhra Pradesh government and especially by the name of the Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy. You can see here. Women belonging to backward class who are eligible, women belonging to backward class, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in the age group of 45 to 60 years. It means there are two conditions. First, the woman should be belongs to backward class, SC, or belongs to the ST, and the age group should be 45 to 60 years. Second, each unit will consist of 15 sheep or goats. It means there is a mix-up of sheep and goats will be provided to women. And the scheme will be distributed in the 3 phases. But one more thing important, what the woman will do with the sheep and goats. They will basically distribute the meats, and for the meat marketing, the Andhra Pradesh government signed a memorandum of understanding with the Allen Group or the Alana Group so that the marketing of the meat products can be done. Andhra Pradesh government also launched the distribution of cows and the buffaloes worth rupees 3,500 crore. It means now they are basically distributing 4 animals. One is cows, second is buffalo, third is sheep, and fourth is goat. The scheme will help in boosting the rural economy of Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh state is, guys, very important. The Krishna river is flowing through Andhra Pradesh, and there is one most important dam of India in Andhra Pradesh, that is Nagarjuna Sagar Dam. Remember. Second thing, 3 national parks are very important in Andhra Pradesh. One is Papikonda National Park. Second, Rajiv Gandhi National Park. This national park is also known as Rameshwaram. And third thing is Shri Venkateshwara National Park. So remember this. So these 3 national parks are very important. Earlier in yesterday class, I told about the Harina National Park. But Harina National Park is in Telangana, not in Andhra Pradesh. Remember this. There are 3 very important: Papikonda, Rajiv Gandhi, and one is the Shri Venkateshwara National Park. Moving to our next question. Which small finance bank launched a 3-in-1 account, that is tripartite account, which comprises saving, trading and demat accounts for its customers? 2 things are important under this question. One is the name of the bank, because it is a small finance bank. Second, the benefit is given under a one account, and 3 types of benefits are given under one account. So that's why this account is known as 3-in-1 account. And these 3 benefits are saving account benefits. One is the trading benefits. Third is the demat account. And this bank is Equitas Small Finance Bank. You can see here, Equitas Small Finance Bank launched 3-in-1 account, that is trading, saving and demat, and it is a 3-in-1 account offering various investment options, because you can also use using as a saving account. You can also use as a trading account. You can also use this account as a trading account, and you can also use this account as a demat account. It means you can purchase the share, you can invest in the share market through this bank account. So this is a new kind of thing started by any small finance bank, Equitas Small Finance Bank. You can see here, it comprises saving, trading and demat account for its customers. This account enables customers to hold all their bank and financial investments under one umbrella. Because with your bank account, you can purchase your shares, you can also trade your money, or you can also trade your things by only one bank account. Customers can invest in a wide variety of financial products using in a single platform, as the bank provides brokerage and the demat services through referral arrangements with brokerage firms for trading and the depository service. It means bank already tied up with the brokerage firm, so that you can very easily use this bank account as a demat account. The account holder can transfer money seamlessly between their bank account. It is started by every bank now, because due to the COVID-19, every bank is now digital. So that's why the account holder can transfer money very easily. So one important thing, Equitas Small Finance Bank Limited is the largest small finance bank in India in terms of number of banking outlets. It means if you're talking about the number of branches, then Equitas Small Finance Bank is the largest small finance bank in India. This is most important thing you are reading here. And this bank's headquarters is in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Remember this also. This bank headquarters is in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And what is the tagline? Tagline is, it's fun banking. It's fun banking. I think all the students can remember, because the tagline is very funny. It's fun banking. Remember. And the headquarters is in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And one more important thing related to Chennai, Tamil Nadu. It is the first private sector bank from Tamil Nadu. It is the first private sector bank from Tamil Nadu to commence operations post-Indian independence. To commence operations post-Indian independence. So remember, it is the Equitas Small Finance Bank. So these are the very important things which I discussed with you related to this news. Now moving to our next news. NSDC, that is National Skill Development Corporation, signs MOU with which institute to support skilling of teachers and trainers? Earlier we covered the question about the training of the entrepreneurs, and it is Cornell University and State of Maharashtra. Now we are talking about National Skill Development Corporation, so that they can provide skill to the teachers and trainers, but they tied up with one institute for this purpose, and the institute name is Byju's. Remember, Byju's, very pioneer institute, very famous institute. You can see here, Byju's, the learning app, joins hand with NSDC to support skilling of the teachers and the trainers. You can see here, as a part of the partnership, Byju's will provide free access to its educational content and tools to help the teacher. So the teacher can assess the Byju's content and their tools, so that they can enhance their skills in the teaching area. In addition, Byju's will share its digital educational content with the NSDC ecosystem as free licenses. It means they can basically learn about the digital education, because today's era is basically digital education era. You are seeing this video because of the digitalization, and because of the digitalization, maximum teachers are not very comfortable under the digital manner. So that's why they need some type of the training, and it will be provided by the Byju's and the NSDC. This is to equip teachers and students for a quality learning experience, so that at home you can very conveniently watch the video and improve your learning experience. NSD has also entered into partnership with LinkedIn and the women's wing of FICCI to accelerate the digital skill training. So the one most important organization here is FICCI, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Recently, Uday Shankar was appointed as the president of FICCI. Remember this. Now moving to our next question. What is the rank of India in the Climate Scope Survey Emerging Market Outlook 2020 released by Bloomberg New Energy Finance Limited? So it is related to the renewable energy or the clean energy report, and it is released by Bloomberg New Energy Finance Limited. And what is the rank of India? India's rank is second. India's rank is second, and first rank is held by Chile or the Chile. You can remember South America's country, Chile, and third rank goes to Brazil. Earlier, India has first rank, but now in 2020, India drops by one rank, and India is now on second position. You can see here Bloomberg's New Energy Finance Report, Climate Scope Ranking 2020. India drops to second position, and Chile or the Chile takes number 1. You can see here, it dropped to the second position in the 2020 survey due to the decline in clean energy investment. Due to COVID-19, so much investment downgraded in India, because in 2017, the total investment from 32% to 12% downgraded. It means almost 20% investment is downgraded between 1 year. Chile topped the survey ranking because so much investment took place in Chile, or the child of the South America, and Brazil is also in the South America. China and India remain the biggest market for the clean energy investment because of the large population here. And one most important thing, that BNEF, Bloomberg's New Energy Finance Limited, has surveyed more than 108 emerging markets, and for the first time 29 developed nations for the Climate Scope Survey project. That's why India ranked on the second position. And one more important thing, where is the headquarters of Bloomberg New Energy Finance Limited? It is not so much important, but you can remember the main headquarters in London, United Kingdom. Just remember 2 or 3 things. First is the name of this report, Climate Scope Ranking 2020. This is the most important. By this you can solve the question and you can mark the right answer, that India is on the second position. And first rank goes to the Chile or the child, and third is the Brazil. Move to next question, and it is our next part, important questions, because we covered now most important section and the very important section. Now we are moving to the important question, and here is the first question. Ishamam janarthnami, a new species of Indian moraine grass discovered in which state? Not so much important question, but you can remember 2 things. One is the name of the state, second is the Ishamam janarthnami. This is a moraine grass. Remember, Ishamam janarthnami is a moraine grass and it was found in the state of Goa. If the Goa is not in option, then you can mark the Western Ghats. But you have to remember this state Goa and word moraine grass. Second important word is the Ishamam. Ishamam janarthnami is a new species of an Indian moraine grass. You can see here a tough novel species of moraine grass, Ishamam janarthnami, spotted in the Western Ghats of Goa. So remember the name of the state Goa. And Goa is very famous for Bhagwan Mahavir Sanctuary or the Bhagwan Mahavir Bird Sanctuary. And second is the Mollem National Park. Remember, Mollem National Park. It is very important. Move to our next question, and it is from picture, and it is a day, International Mountain Day, that is celebrated on 11th of December 2020. 11th of December 2020, and this day is known as International Mountain Day. What is the theme of International Mountain Day? That is mountain diversity. Remember why this day is celebrated? It is just to encourage the sustainable developments in mountains, because so much glacier is melting and so much biodiversity lost in the Himalayas area. That's why it is just to encourage the sustainable development in the mountains and to create awareness about the importance of mountains to life. It is very important, because our sustainable development goal number 15 is of life on land, sustainability, manage forest, combat desertification, halt and reverse land degradation, halt biodiversity loss. This is the main target of the SDG goal number 15, because total goals are 17 which we have to achieve till the 2030, and it was started in 2015 by the United Nations Development Program. Remember, and the theme is the to save biodiversity in the mountain biodiversity. Remember, the theme is the mountain biodiversity. And the organization one is very important. If you are talking about the International Mountain Day, it is FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. Where is the headquarters? Rome, Italy. Now moving to our last section, it is the one-liner important points. Here is the first question. DRDO designed submachine gun. It is a submachine gun, 5.56 into 30 mm, JVPC, undergoes successful trials. So JVPC stands for Joint Venture Protective Carbine. But you don't have to remember, you just have to remember it is developed by the DRDO. The examiner can ask that a submachine gun is developed by which organization? That is by DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. Who is the head? G. Satish Reddy. Now moving to next question. Sports Minister Kiren Rijiju announced 1000 Khelo India small centers. Now here important thing is this Khelo India small centers, why they are opening so much small centers related to the Khelo India. It will help retired sports persons to get employment or some role in shaping the sports culture of the country. So very important, 1000 Khelo India small centers. And one more important thing under this question is the Khelo India Youth Games. In 2021, Khelo India Youth Games will take place in India, and especially in the Haryana in Panchkula. Khelo India Youth Games, because the name is India, so by default it will be held in India, but the place is Haryana, and in the Haryana it is Panchkula. Next is Malayan giant squirrel found could fall by 90% in India by 2050. It is Geological Survey of India's first of its kind survey. Remember, it is geological survey of India's first of its kind survey. So we are talking about this squirrel, or you can say the black giant squirrel, and it could fall by the 90% in India by 2050. It is a survey of Geological Survey of India. And remember, these squirrels are found in Sikkim and the North Bengal. They are declining because their original habitat is shrinking. And so much forest area is decreasing in India, especially their habitat forest area. So that's why you have to remember this squirrel. Next is IESA and UNIDO tie up to boost energy storage innovation in India. So the two organizations we are talking about, one is the IESA. IESA stands for India Energy Storage Alliance. Second is UNIDO, United Nations Industrial Development Organization. Both tie up to boost energy storage innovation in India so that low carbon technology can be developed. And maximum to maximum innovation can be done in the storage and the e-mobility space. So no need to remember, just you can remember UNIDO, or you can remember IESA, India Energy Solar Alliance. Its headquarters is in Pune, Maharashtra. And where is the headquarters of United Nations Industrial Development Organization? In the Vienna, Austria. Next is government launch viability gap funding scheme to boost India's infrastructure. So it is the Ministry of Finance who basically launched this viability gap funding scheme so that maximum to maximum investment can be increased by building the infrastructure in some areas. It means they opened some type of the amount so that they can spend this amount to form some type of the infrastructure, and they are just using the up to 200 crore for some sectors. Not important, but you can remember. Fourth Indian Mobile Congress 2020 held virtually, co-organized by Department of Telecommunication. Not important because it is held virtually. That's why it is not so much important, because if we are talking about any place, then it become important, but otherwise it is not important. Just remember the name of one person. It is Shri Sanjay Dhotre. He is currently Minister of State for Communication, who attended this meeting, India Mobile Conference. It was held between 8th to 10th December 2020. Remember this. And it is the 4th India Mobile Congress 2020. So what are important under the one-liner points? First important here is the DRDO. Second is 1000 Khelo India Small Center for the employment of the retired players, and Khelo India Youth Games will be held in Haryana. Second, Malayan giant squirrel. It is not so much important, but you can remember. Second important thing is this viability gap funding scheme. It is basically launched by the Ministry of Finance to boost India's infrastructure. And second is this India's Mobile Congress 2020. So it is by the Minister of State for Communication who attended this, Shri Sanjay Dhotre. So this is all for today, and guys, please subscribe our channel and please press the bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. And guys, please provide 700 plus likes so that we can make more videos on the different contents. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section, and it is my personal promise that if you are watching the videos regularly and if you are reading the current affairs from the PDFs, it means your current affairs section will definitely improve, because 90% of the current affairs in your exams will come from our current affairs. So it is our promise, and it is our promise that it will definitely improve your current affair section. Thank you guys for watching this video and keep supporting us. Thank you guys.